Well, the endless winter still hasn't ended, but I was able to sneak out. We had 2 warm days in a row, and this happened. Good news is it was phenomenal. Bad news is I got no footage from that, but I was able to get out another time for a shorter session, and that's what we get to watch today. So, got a fish. I'm set up in an ambush position. He's kind of coming around these bushes here. Drag and drop over the top of him. Notice I jigged it there. Kind of had dropped it and then I lifted it up again. The issue is I dropped it in on him right here and I released pressure. To me, it looked like he was going to intercept my line. I was going to line him and spook him. So I lifted again and brought it over on the other side of him. He kind of saw it as it came down on the far side, turned and came over and chased it. This is probably one of the most unique encounters I've ever had fly fishing for carp. I had a school here. I don't know. There's 15 fish coming towards me. And I would be willing to bet that by the time I actually hook up here, which I do end up hook up, all but maybe 1 or 2 are spooked. But luckily enough, one of the fish I hadn't spooked as I got this close. And I don't know why it didn't spook. I mean, clearly, you'll see it when I zoom in on this on the cast. You're gonna see that I absolutely scared that fish. See, I scared him for sure. He swims down towards the one that ultimately ends up eating. You kind of see them swimming together. And then right here at the very end, this one turns, boom, sucks it in, and we're on. So yeah, I got lucky there, but it was a cool encounter. I've never experienced that many fish coming together and then have one decide to eat. So yeah, this was a pretty special encounter with this many carp. This is another kind of different encounter. So I have a single carp kind of cruising along the edge of these reeds. I tried to intercept him right as he's coming out of these reeds, and I thought he made a pretty good cast. And he even, I think he notices me, like notices something isn't right. You'll see him turn and kind of move out and around right here. So I'm thinking I gotta be done, but he just kind of kept coming around. And what's amazing is sometimes if you get that fly like right in front of them, the carp will somewhat act like tarpon. What the reason I say that is sometimes to get a tarpon, you have to irritate them. You know, they don't want to eat, but you bug them, and so they eat it. So sometimes you get a fly like right in front of a carp's face. Even though they might be wary or partially spooked, they'll still kind of react and just eat it. Yeah, so I don't know, it's somewhat like that, but that's what happened here. He clearly was wary. He knew something was wrong. Usually a carp won't eat in that situation, but he cooperated. And it might just be that it's early and they're all so dang hungry, but anyway, kind of a cool experience. So on this next encounter, I had a little issue. I like to usually get footage of the carp before I hook up. I don't have any on this one. Issue with the drone. So basically, you can see where I set the hook, but there's nothing before that. Almost appears to come out of nowhere. But this is a nicer carp for sure. And he drugged me around quite a bit here. There was a couple in this group that were really big, but they were in deeper water, which is a lot of times what you'll see. The bigger carp are going to tend to be more in deeper water. You can see how far he ended up dragging me out right there. Heck of a run. This was a good carp, but yeah, deeper water. If you're looking for bigger carp, you know, try to spend a little bit more time in the deeper water. I wanted to show this because this is a cool example of pre-spawn activity. This carp isn't quite spawning yet, but obviously this is what they do. You'll see big groups of them doing this with males rubbing the females. That's what that is. That's how pre-spawn, and they'll do a lot of that during the spawn. All right, so this one, there was a whole group up against these reeds feeding, and I positioned myself behind this using the structure so they couldn't see me. I waited for one of them to break off from the group and move into an area where I could hit them. and then I drag and drop it in here. And I'm using a carp maul with some medium dumbbell eyes. These guys are pretty deep, and so to get it down to them and to get it down to them quickly, because they're all moving fairly quickly. You know, a lot of times there weren't a lot of tailors, and you'd have to catch them as they were moving. So I did use dumbbell eyes quite a bit here, and that's what I did here. So I ended up with this decent fish, little male. I did catch this great big female, but I don't have footage of it. Great fish though, so enjoy the montage.